Hey, folks, Rob Potter here from thepromiserevealed.net, and I'm with an amazing new friend of mine, a very high level contactee. I'm going to get into her really deep. She's probably going to be a little embarrassed, but I'm going to toot some horns because I really want people to understand how very special this woman is. But I have a lot to go through. I haven't been on here a long time, and I got a lot of stuff going on in my summer conference and some other things. So bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. This is Victoria Liljenquist. Victoria, welcome to the Promise Revealed show.
Hello, welcome, greetings.
Greetings. So, folks, I'm going to take you over some stuff here. I'm going to do some screen shares, and we're going to get back to Victoria with a lot of stuff. In fact, she's got such a pedigree here. It's going to take a while, but I'm going to blow your minds. She's going to be one of my headliners at the speakers this year, and we have an incredible lineup of speakers. But let me just get right to the screen share, because we're going to go through it one by one, and we'll start off with right over here to I've got a bunch of stuff here. Okay, so this is the website here. Some of you maybe already know this. For those of you who don't, maybe joining me because of Victoria, it's called the Promise Revealed .net. Now, here's the Mount Shasta Summer Conference. You look at this, some great speakers, Omnik, the 200-year-old Venusian, Ismail Perez. Here's Victoria over here, amazing Haruko, Vivian Chavez. You have Jane Marsteller, Renee and Anthony, Deborah Gusti, Anya Schaefer, Dan Winter, myself, Brad Olson, Jane DeForest, and of course, the ever-present Raymond Keller. We have a quantum therapy healing system developed by Dan Winter. We're making an appearance here at the tune of $50,000 worth of plasma scalar field energy. It's going to blow some minds, folks. So here, I'm going to take you over here now. So this is the actual summer conference site. And I highly recommend you don't look at this on your phone, folks. You're never going to see all this stuff. It's very difficult. But we have a place for vendors. You can check it all out here. If you want to know where to stay, I'm just going to take you real quick here. It's going to show you, here's the speaker's bio. The schedule is not up. Remember the venue location. You got to check that out. We do have a few positions for free tickets, but look at this. People going, Rob, where do I stay? I got every hotel, motel, Airbnb, campground, free hookups. This is a nice campground, is Lake Siskiyou. It's filling up, folks. This is the summer solstice. This year's going to be incredible. And I'm sorry, I'm a little excited here. It's been a long time since I've talked, and I got so much David Dump coming in the next couple months here. I'm going to be very, very busy. There's airport, Reading Airport, Medford, Oregon. These are your closest places, even San Francisco International. So this is an amazing an event. So I'm going to take you, let's go back a little smidgen here. I'm going to take you back to the homepage here and look at this. And I just put this up the other day. We've got a little video on the conference. This is where you purchase your tickets here. If you're a friend of Victoria's, reach out to her and contact her, and you can buy tickets from her. Each speaker has a couple tickets to sell. So look at this. I have 2 Skywatches with Victoria already up here. And when you see what this lady is bringing to the table, you're going to blow your minds. So this is a little introduction to the conference. You come down here. Here's the speakers. We even have more. Look at this amazing speaker here. We got Arcturus. He's quite a hit. He's a commander from Arcturus. And we have Deborah Gusti, Paul of Venus, as a kind of a rock star guy. Oops. And where did that go? So I don't know. I must have hit the back button. I'm going to go back again. So no, I did the wrong thing. Bad boy. So let me get back to I got to go to the conference. My bad, folks. I'm so sorry about that. I hit the wrong button here. But Paul of Venus was a rock star guy, had a horrible accent, and he sold his name in the band. He was the headliner, and he basically healed himself on the mountain over 2 years. He could hardly walk. He communed on the mountain with the beings inside Telos and the interdimensional porter here. And for those of you who don't know, on my website, on my blogs, all the Venusians have told me this civilization in here is an ancient Lemurian colony that came from Venus. It was called Telos, and 30,000 years ago, they came here and set up this interdimensional city. They are cloaked in the fifth dimension. No one will get there unless you're invited. So we come down here. Look, we have Ismael Perez, already mentioned him. Haruko, an angel voice. Marcella Velasco, major contacts down in South America. She's got some shows and incredible information. Dennis Adams, the famous healer. And that's Paul of Venus. He'll be presenting for the first time. Here's the beautiful Julia Galasso, who's going to be coming with a friend of hers, Dr. Royal Rife. His real name is Matthew Rife. He is a great nephew of Royal Rife. They're all the Rife healing machines you're seeing, all the frequencies. This guy's grandfather, and he's going to be presenting his technology as well. Lorian Fenton, there's my legal beagle, going to be sharing some stuff. Gavin, he's running some operations I can't talk about. But this is the Therified Quantum System of Dan Winter. This Jane is an amazing gal. She talks to people. If you want closure with someone who died, I've sent her several people. It's the real deal. And of course, Brad Olson, and then Vivian. And here is Omnek, 200 years old. She was 147, living on the fifth dimension of Venus. The masters asked her to come to Venus for her last lifetime so they could study a fifth dimensional being inhabiting a physical body. She's a little bit older now, but holds a tremendous light and love and energy. So I'm going to take you back. Let's go to Victoria's image here in a moment. I just want to share. This is what's coming up. So I'm going to share with you. I got so many things going on. I kind of overwhelmed myself, but I'll be speaking in Los Angeles, March 24th through the 26th at the Sonesta Hotel. It's called biomedexpo.com. There's quite a few doctors in technology. Scott Warner's going to be there. Let's see who else. We got myself, and let's see, Julia's going to be there. And I don't know, a lot of these are other doctors, but it's going to be a great event. And come down and see me at that one there. Now, let's fast forward to the 6th. I'm going to go on an amazing cruise. There's still tickets left if you're allowed to come. Jason Shirka of Disclosure with Ray, Vivian Chauvet, myself, Brad Olson, Laura Eisenhower, and there are others. If you click this, no shot, no vax, no tests, nothing. You can, if you register and use my name, please do. You get a free healing session. I'll have my massage table on there. 7 glorious days on the Mexican Riviera. We're going to go to Cabo San Lucas, Mazatlan, and Puerto Vallarta, in that order. And then we're going to come back and we're going to be doing cruises and talks, and all your food's covered. It's an amazing journey. Even if you don't have someone, you can sign up and say you want a guest, and they'll pair you with someone. You can get a room. So that's another great thing. And then also, if we go back to the home page here, and if we go back to the Promise Revealed website, they made me an offer I can't refuse at the New Living Expo. So I go on this cruise from the 7th to the 14th, arrive in LA in the morning, and I catch a flight that night, as many others. Sandra Michaels, who worked with Fred Bell, the famous EES quantum system. I've mentioned 3 quantum healing systems. This information is coming out now. So are coming out, and she has an amazing system, and her and I have worked together since 1978. So I'm going to share with you here this event coming up here at the New Living Expo, run by Ken. Here it is. I'm going to be at booth 79. I'll be speaking on 10 a.m. in room 5 on Sunday. I better amend that. So it's going to be Sunday in room 5. Come visit me. Laura will be there, and lots of great speakers. So I've done quite a bit of promo here, but I've not really been promoting a lot of stuff lately. So I just thought I would get all this out. And now we're going to go to the amazing Victoria Liljenquist. I'm going to get you to her site real quick here so you know where to go and what to do. But I'm going to be going over this bio somewhat as we speak, and then we're going to let Victoria come in, and I'm going to share some amazing information about her. She's got a lot of good stuff. Check out her videos. She did a full-length feature movie. She was going to be in Cannes. The guides told her not to go, but she was going to be honored with James Cameron and Michael Douglas some years ago. And I'm going to go a little more into her stuff, but I want you to look this out here. And as I said, she's going to contact. We're going to link that page. Here's her YouTube channel. Just prepare to put like a hat on, because your head's going to explode if it hasn't already. I got a lot of energy going on today, so I'm kind of excited. A lot of good things are happening. So I'm going to take you back to the summer conference page here, and we're gonna go back to the home thing. And this is what I want to share with you, because we want to help Victoria. She's coming all the way from Sedona. She is a light worker extraordinaire. So you can choose one of these conferences. On the 20th, before the conference begins, if you come early to Mount Shasta, and if you do get your ticket, or if you have your ticket, buy your room now. They're filling up. The Weed Motel 6 is going to be a cheaper version. You can always camp on the mountain. And Siskiyou Campground is an excellent option. Hotel, they have bathrooms, showers, restaurant, laundry, RV hookups, the whole 9 yards. So look at this. So here we're going to go. We have a little purchase button here. So the speakers are going to come for free. And when I asked Victoria, would you do a Skywatch? She said she'd be happy to. And so it's here. You're going to it's being held on private property. We're not going to give the event the location. Everyone's going to get a wristband. We're going to carpool, because we can't take a lot of cars onto this very special location, very private, off the beaten path. So I'm going to stop my share here. And so that we're going to do another one, not sure of the date yet, but I'm going to talk a little bit here, and then I'm going to let Victoria take over while I start popping up some amazing photos and some stuff. So little background of Victoria. And we have Alex Collier, and yes, he is a commander. And I don't give away those titles lightly for my certainty, but I can tell you Victoria Liljenquist is an Andromedan commander, not of the Zene, but of a different Andromedan group. And she might want to correct me here, but I'm going to go forward with a couple things. Before she was born, her father, and I'm not going to go too deep into this, her father was a well-intended, ethical gentleman working for certain alphabet agencies, and he was near the area of China Lake, which has turned into one of the government locations. And out near China Lake is a place called Pyramid Lake. He liked to pitch hitchhikers. So before Victoria was born, he picked up this guy. He was dressed in, like, let's call it biblical clothes. They're in the car, they're talking. He leads the conversation into like a spiritual area. And he he basically prophesies. He says, you're going to have a daughter, and she's going to be very, very special, and take good care of her. At the end of the thing, he stopped the car. He put a blessing on Victoria's father and said, take good care of her. And he took a step away from the car, and her father watched him dematerialize. Fast forward, Victoria is 5 years old, and her father says, and his name, that was the angel in the Bible, ladies and gentlemen. He's an angel now, but in the Bible, he was known as Ezekiel. He had a little experience by the river Shabar, where he saw a craft of wheels within wheels. So I'm going to get right to you, Victoria. Hold on just a second. Um, so at 5 years old, she says, "Dad, what's initiation?" He said, "Oh, you met Ezekiel." And I'm going to hand it over to this amazing. She has a beautiful voice. When you follow her links on my thing, um, it's just amazing to me because I've got my ears to the ground and I have heard of her a couple times. And some couple of people mentioned, I said, "What's your contact? I got a hold of her." I don't know. She's not so out. She's not so public right at this time. She's done tremendous large events throughout her life with thousands of people and television shows and major international congresses, but we don't know her in the new day where everyone's talking and alleged contactees. But from my experience, what I've been hearing from this woman and what she's been telling me, and I'll interject some questions here, but she is a bona fide contactee who goes aboard the ships. And most people don't know that you can bilocate. Some of the masters and some of the Venusians I've met, they do bilocate. They can be in one place, and for a period of time, they can be in another. And Victoria, you may have heard of Elena Denon. Victoria has been having these types of experiences since she's very young. So, Victoria, I'm going to zip it. We've got an incredible background story for you. I'm going to start sharing some of these amazing pictures. I think I'll start with the picture of Ezekiel, but you just go ahead and start talking.
Well, thank you so much, Rob. Can you hear me okay?
We certainly can, dear one.
Okay. All right. Well, what a glorious honor to meet you because I'd heard so much about you. And I'm very excited to be with the tribe. And the ships are very, very excited. They're ready. They're ready to come and be with us. Now this is when Ezekiel's will came to me, and it came actually every night for 18 months, eye level off of my deck. So it's pretty amazing. And I stuck myself in the doorway because it was 7 below and I was living in Colorado, and it was really something. So he's come to me numerous times, but he's also been Ezekiel's been speaking to me telepathically since I was a child. But it wasn't till I was 34 years old that um, I realized he was the same person that came to me when I was 5 years old in my bedroom. I was sitting there with my crystals and wondering how people were oblivious to the other planets and the other life forms. And that's when Ezekiel came to me when I was 5. And he said, "Victoria, you have this mission. You must walk this certain path. And you are here to initiate on behalf of humanity the great divine plan." And that's when I went and asked my father about initiation. And my dad said, okay, he's been with you. And so I started having visions and visitations all my life. I was 100% telepathy with my parents. They couldn't get away with anything. For years, I've been able to. I give people the answer to the next question that's going to come out of their mouth, and I just kind of, people say you're reading my mind, and I go, no, it's just that the galactics and their thoughts all communicate through my right ear. And I didn't quite know how to put two and two together when I was small, but as I got older I realized, no, I'm a telepathic conscious channel. And years ago I went to a trance channel and I said, I'm not really comfortable with another entity stepping in to me to speak through me. And he says, "So that's okay. You don't have to do that." He says, "Because you are a conscious channel and you have 157 energies coming through. So you really can't give them names. We're just all one. It's the we. And so it's just been an interesting life, and then a vision. Um,
I would say, in my estimation, people use the word channeling. She is a high level sensitive, and she's telepathic and connected. And how we got her and I got connected, which was a big thing, was Athena Ashtar Sharon. I have been following her for at least 20 years, and I knew her name. Very beautiful woman. And Lori Tierney, another friend of hers who will be at the conference, had told me about her. And when I said, I'm already full this year, and I thought next year. And so anyway, I talked to Athena. She's in Los Angeles and she's having some health stuff, and we were talking, and she talked about you, and I said, I'd heard about her. So she connected, and that's how Victoria and I met. But I'm going to pull up. Why don't you talk about the 2012 prophecy 35 years before, and I'm going to start searching for that information. Okay.
are you talking about the
Olympics?
The Olympics. Well, I was actually 13 years old when I received a vision, and I saw a cigar-shaped craft flying over the Olympic rings and in Salt Lake City. Now, I was raised in northern Utah. I'm not the typical Utah person, but anyway, I saw that, and when Salt Lake was nominated for the Olympics, I knew that they would get it. I knew. And I happened to just mention it to a friend. Well, I'm going to head up to Salt Lake, and I know the cigar shaped craft is going to arrive. And he leaked it to over 60 radio stations. And then at the Olympics, I had all these international TV people interviewing me before and after. And lo and behold, it transpired to the day, to the hour, as predicted. So, and, but that's because I can't take credit for that. That's the transmissions.
Well, there you go, folks. So 35 years in the future, as a young girl, she did this. It talked, and she ended up becoming quite famous. Of course, they don't pump this up real big on international, but local stringers, when they were interviewing her, and then the international, it was a pretty powerful stuff. So Victoria has some bona fide credentials here that when I started researching her, and I'm going to share next Ezekiel's light ship. This is one of the most amazing. I've taken pictures where they move and they make like a white light, like you take it within one click of a shutter. It makes a lot of wiggly moves, but this one is spectacular. So when did, if I can find it quickly here, when did this next
Christmas Eve.
come up?
Christmas Eve.
And what year was that?
2000, Christmas Eve. And it was actually in Sedona. I had come up from from Phoenix to see my friend, and we'd just gone to Christmas service. And
Merry Christmas, Victoria.
It was amazing. And you know what's beautiful about this is that this was extracted from the live video footage. So note that down below you see the wheel, which is very much like the shape of the wheel you showed earlier, but you see the whole chariot. You see everything. This is Ezekiel's chariot of fire. And in 10 minutes of footage, it displayed in slow motion over 400 pictographic images, which are the language of light. And the beautiful thing in my film that I put together, I never knew it would go to Hollywood and everything. I just picked all my favorite things. But in slow motion, and people can witness this when they watch the movie on YouTube. At the end, we slow it down, we blow it up, and you can literally see people moving around inside the ship. Everywhere there's a brown dot. It's the tops of their heads. They're dressed in white. They're in ceremony. And guess what, Rob? It's us. We're here and we're there. We are orchestrating all of these wonderful things together. And that's what I found when I was filming, is that I was orchestrating it from here and there. People say, how do you always call it? And they always come, and I go, well, I'm in both places. I'm the conductor and I'm the orchestra.
Yeah, this is hard for some people to imagine, because I'll just say, when we're down here in the third dimension, time and space, and all this is very difficult. But with Victoria, we actually have the kind of the evidence and the photographs, and this is not about ego or saying she's special, though she is very special. And you'll notice as you get to know Victoria, if you do come to the conference this year, she doesn't talk about politics. She's not really up on this and that kind of stuff, but she holds the love and she holds the vibration, much like my friend Louis Maertens. And see if I can want to pull that one up too real quick here, and see if I'll pull up. I've got Louis here. Louis is an amazing guy, and he's in South America, and her pictures are very similar to his. Down in Mexico, he's got UFOs coming out from underneath the water. Very high level contactee. Here he is down here, and I've gone on many journeys and taken people. In fact, we're going down there, and here's a message from the Venusian Masters. We've done pre-recorded interviews. He has a tremendous amount of information, and I'm going to show you a picture of Victoria that Louis has the same image. It's a picture of the Merkaba above the head, and these type of phenomenon occur around these very high level contactees. Now, I'm not trying to be self-effacing, but I'm a junior postman here delivering a message, and these are the intergalactic postal service delivering to people like me these messages. So I'm gonna see if I can pull up here some other message. Why don't you share a little about
About the Merkaba,
yeah,
the Merkaba vehicle.
pull this pic. No, the Merkaba image above your head.
Yeah, the Merkaba. See, that's my personal Merkaba. Each of us have our own Merkabas that we travel in. And I wanted so much years ago to go and hear Drumvalo speak about the Merkaba, but I wasn't able to go. But a month after I spoke to him, mine showed up appearing above my head in sacred sites. And over 2 years, it showed up with different cameras, different places, but they were all sacred sites.
Can you see
And what I discovered is
that?
that they're pointing out or they're pointing down, which represents ascending or descending. So the first ones showed up in Sedona.
Can you tell me if you see this? Well, I'm going to share it. I just want to see if you can see it.
I don't see anything right now.
Okay, go ahead. Never mind.
So, but then, so it was beautiful because then it showed up when I was in Mesquite with pillars of lights coming down around me, and then my Merkaba appeared, identical, same shape. Then I went to Peru, and it then appeared. There you go. Okay, and you can see they're identical. The bottom one is 1994 February, and the one up above is December 1994. And then I went to Peru, and it appeared around me when I was singing on the mountain, and I was at the fertility springs, and now I'm a blue bean. I need to go back to that photo because I actually am blue. Um, and Mother Mary also has the blue under her eye. I'm very connected with Mother Mary. And so that's something that I had to start using more makeup when I do TV shows because they were frustrated because I had this blue under my eyes, you know. I'm going, well, I can't help it. So
Yeah, I wish I could. For some, I'm not the greatest techie, folks, but
doing fine, Rob. You're doing fine.
I'm going to
It's
share this. I want to share this other picture of this is taken by NASA. I hope you can see it. Let's see. Tell me if you guys can see this image or no. It's not working, is it? So,
well, you showed it earlier, and
right.
it was in the upper corner where it showed the New Jerusalem. You just showed the New Jerusalem, and the small images in the upper corner there.
Okay, there it is. So I'm going to share this. It's not as big as I want, but this picture was taken by NASA. This is a shining rays of light. It's quite spectacular. We'll share this at the conference, but I know some individuals who've actually been on board this ship. Victoria, you've been aboard it. Why don't you share with people your experience? And people, please don't be triggered by the biblical stuff because it's all spiritual. This is not about religion or the truth of one master over another. Victoria, please share everyone about your journey to the New Jerusalem.
Well, the beautiful thing about the New Jerusalem is it resides behind Venus, and that is why Venus is so bright. And over the last few years, with what's been going on in Ukraine and Russia, and even with the earthquakes that have been happening, I am very well aware that I am working with transporting, relocating people from danger onto the New Jerusalem. Of course, we do smaller crafts to take us because the New Jerusalem is, I mean, it's huge. But there's been many mornings that I would wake up and I would remember helping the people, the children, and you know, it's just obvious. And it was interesting because I was visiting with Lady Ashtar, Athena, and we were comparing notes, and we both remember going and helping rescue people and assisting them to the New Jerusalem. And the beautiful thing about how they show the 12 levels is, you know, there's many levels. This is where humanity will be transported here. The people that are confused once we make this shift, that's where the healers that say, oh, you know, I want to keep doing my healing work. And I go, you're going to be very busy because the people that awaken and they're not on this earth anymore, and maybe they haven't gone to the second earth yet, which I've seen in visions, but they might be in orientation like, well, you're in line A or B or C, and we're going to work with you. We're going to help you respatialize your energy field. And there's a thing called transference that I love Dr. Hertak, and he talks of the word transference, and that's where you're able to literally experience and thrive comfortably with transporting in your own Merkabah field. So the levels on this mothership, it's wonderful. And you know, they call it the New Jerusalem, but no, it's not tied into any religious um, dogma or anything like that.
Right. So here is the New Jerusalem. Thing was created by Manny Pineda. He must have had his own experience. But folks, from tip to tip here, we're looking at 2,000 miles across. and 1,000 miles high. And I'm just going to read to you from bottom level 1. It's the entry and exit portal for craft trafficking. Number 2 is a giant stock room. Let's call it the quartermaster deck containing all manner of supplies. Number 3 is a vast zoo, or an animal, probably a park type thing, with creatures from many worlds. Number 4 is an agricultural research, probably again a garden or a farmland of well-kept vegetables, gardens, and fruit orchids. Level 5 is a housing center for all those technicians and persons who serve the 4 levels below. There's a number 6 is a recreational level with a lovely landscape park and acres for residents of all ages. Number 7 is a medical complex, patient facilities, dental care, biological research, ships, laboratories, quarters for all medical personnel. Housing prepared for Earth evacuees. And when she said she's talking about Ukraine, a year ago, Victoria was leaving her body and coordinating how the people that are going to be dying in the war, in the earthquakes, and in the bombing are going to be transported to be healed. And this takes place also during wars, but at this particular time, the earth is going through things, and there's a lot more activity in terms of ministering to the souls who are confused because we don't understand what's really happening. Level 9 is a university compound, the halls of wisdom, a vast library of endless concert halls and cultural interests, halls of learning for all ages, music rooms, computer classrooms, I guess Akashic records as well. Number 10 is special apartments for visiting dignitaries from all dimensions. Barracks for ET staterooms and apartments with multiple scattered conference rooms and beautiful sprawling dining and lounge area. Number 11 is the Ashtar Command Headquarters and Great Rotunda Meeting Hall, Command and Communication Center. The Officer Observation Deck and the Pilot Control Center is level 12. So, folks, this sounds like fantasy. For those of you who are not understanding what's really taking place, it is very important now that we come up to speed. You can hear it, you can't unhear it. So take your time, digest it. I can tell you, I can promise you that the military elements of the positive space program in naval intelligence and the extraterrestrials have been planning for hundreds, if not thousands of years for the transformation of our world. Inside the earth, there are vast caverns, there are vast civilizations, and this is going to be coming, and I'm going to say very hot and heavy in the next couple years. It may cause a lot of societal problems and distractions for people who can't understand or accept it. Keep an open mind, an open heart, and listen to God and your own presence of God or the Christ within you. And yes, Christ is a universal principle that exists throughout the galaxy. I don't want to go into the religious aspect of Jesus Christ. Maybe Victoria wants to do that, but some people, she sounds like a crazy person, but to me, she's one of my great teachers, and it's been a very short time. And we've all been going through a lot of challenges and waiting for things to happen. And she's really helped me a lot. So I want to thank you for that. And I'm going to just, again, zip up. I wanted to share some of these amazing photos. And back, I'm going to let you just share your teachings. And if you want me to pull up something, I can.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Rob. Well, I have always had a relationship with Yeshua, Jesus Christ, and but it has not been in a religious sense. He started coming to me as a child, I experienced him in my near death in 1981, at which time he was explaining and showing to me all of the earth changes that would happen prior to us making a shift into the parallel reality, the second earth, if you will. So, and then he started coming to me physically, laying his hands on me, explaining to me it wasn't my time, but it was humanity's time. And told me that I must tell people every day, be loving, be forgiving, be in the joy, be in service, do something good for yourself. And that was in 2014 on April 27th. I've got all my dates are listed, and then Jesus and Mary came to me for 4 hours on September 27th. Again, that number, it's very concise, consistent. And so September 27th, 2020, they came to me for 4 hours. It was a long visitation. And during that time, they revealed to me the bigger picture of what I had already been talking about on my website, victoriaslight.com, for years in my visions. But they said each and every person is going to experience going into a sleep state. And I know everyone is feeling kind of sleepy these days, and a lot of us are realizing we're teleporting in a certain time every day. Well, those are temporary sleeps, but this is a deep sleep which each and every soul will experience at the same time. They have not spoken about it's, people used to say, well, it's the first wave, the second wave. No, it's not going to be like that. It's going to be in the blink of an eye. It's on the tip of the tongue. And each and every soul will go into this stasis. Now, I can't tell you how long that stasis is going to be, but I think that it'll be brief for some that are already on the path and enlightened. And it might be a little bit longer for those that perhaps have to be transported to the New Jerusalem to be oriented. But they kept saying, do not judge. Do not judge. I mean, for 4 hours. I mean, I was almost exhausted after 4 hours, Rob, and my body was teleporting through this whole vision for 4 hours.
This is
And
Matt.
so,
I'm not going to interrupt you here, but I'm going to share your little video so people can see this amazing. I think this made it to Cannes, was going to be honored, and they told her just don't get messed up in the Hollywood scene. She just took her guidance here. So continue about this amazing teleportation journey. I'm going to reinforce her a little bit. If you go to my website, folks, under Truth References Victory of the Light, the security chief of the Venusian, whom I met, 2,400 years old, spoke to me and said that at a certain point in time, people are going to be transported to motherships, planetoids, asteroids off planet to be returned. And this goes back to my very first vision on my website about me when I was 8 years old. That's what started my first conscious contact. So I'm going to let you continue on this wonderful story about non-judgment, and I'm going to just share this. Oops, I guess I'm not sharing it properly. So let me see if I can find it. You just go ahead and talk.
well, there's just just one sentence left to that, and that is, they said, do not judge. And so even the people that we feel have been doing bad things with humanity, they're going to experience going to sleep also. But what their soul will review is different than what we'll be reviewing, because the pure in heart are going to be moving forward. and those that are not impure in heart is that they'll be taken care of in whatever's lined up for them. But we can't judge who is going and who isn't. And I tell parents, look, don't be worried about your children that are, maybe your teenagers are acting up, and you're worried that they're not going to get it. But I will say to you, and I know this with all my heart, each and every one of us have a cellular memory. We came in here, we know on a subconscious level the divine plan. So even someone that might not be looking like they're walking the path or understanding it, worry not, because each and every soul is going to go through this process. And it's glorious. And I've been shown in 3 visions in 97, the second earth. First I saw it, I was on a ship, and I saw these two planets, and one transplanting onto the other planet, merging. And then the next day I asked for another vision, and that night I literally saw a planet coming into the atmosphere. I couldn't see the sky, and the people were in a frenzy of confusion, going, "Who are you and what do you want?" And I said, "Don't be afraid. This is beautiful." And it merged with us very briefly, and then it moved away from this earth. And so the thing is, I heard a voice say, "Victoria, this is your new home." And then the third vision was the morning Princess Diana passed away. And I had this vision of opening up the curtains and looking out, and the earth had made the shift. It looked the same, yet different. All the evil was gone, all the stress was gone. And so I know, as sure as I live, that these things are going to transpire. I've had many visions that have manifested. Of course, the Olympic thing too, So yeah, this is a, well, you've passed it, but it'll come back. But that ship came to a group of us that they followed me across. They followed me from Glendale over to the Mayo Clinic, and it was planned a month in advance, and the ship came right on time, and people were going, "Oh my gosh," and it looked like a Goodyear blimp just going over the top of us. It was really something. So this is, of course, they put me on TV, and they were talking about my healing, which I've done for 36 years. I have, you know I'm a conduit of Christ's light. Each of us have Christ. We each of us have that Christ. It's a position. It's an energy of service and loving and giving. That was the Olympics you just saw, and then these are some of the others, but they were pretty fascinated with me during these interviews, and it was kind of new for them, but lo and behold, the cigar shaped craft did show up on time. Now, this is the Chariot of Ezekiel, and it goes into the images of the language of light. Now, when we blow those up, then you can see the people moving around inside. It's pretty fun. That's the Olympics. And they cluster around each other and fly, and then they start to separate. And I filmed this on night vision during the day. I had a special camera that they've discontinued now because it was seen through people's clothes, so they took it off the market. But it was a great camera because I could film them during the day and get this definition. Now, if I took it off night vision, you'd see nothing. So it's very fascinating how they guided me. They've shown me. I'm speaking of the second earth. In my film, I share the visions. I share the times I've been on television shows. And, I've just got thousands of hours of footage because I started filming in 1994. So I'm talking about the second Earth right now. And then this appeared, and I believe it was showing that we do have a second Earth that's prepared. And the beautiful thing about this, oh, let me talk about this. This is a saucer that flew over my yard in Phoenix, and it was brilliant. And I was on my way somewhere, and I said, "Please hang out, wait for me. I'll be back in 10 minutes." And it waited for me, and I filmed it. But it's just, it's a glorious time for us to open our hearts and our minds and just be in the joy. Don't don't overthink things so much. Oh, I love that little advertisement that came up there on tinnitus.
I know
This
that.
is my
Yeah,
this is my friend talking about what's that?
yeah, you just have so many wonderful images, folks, and you'll notice the timestamps. These are different days and times, and 2002. She started filming in 1995, and
94.
the phenomenon.
Yeah.
No, folks, it's not. You know, for this is for you people who want to understand.
Teleportation beam. That's my teleportation beam, and that's the portal dimension in Peru. But yeah, Rob, I kind of laugh because people say, "Well, we're waiting for disclosure," and I feel like I am disclosure because I've been doing this. I released my film in 2005, and it was just it's just a way of life for me. I'm really married to my mission, and I'm really coming from pure in heart. It's never been about money or fame or fortune or ego or
What's that one there?
this is in my backyard. Can you pause that for a second?
Yeah, let's go back and
Yeah, you can see the mouth, the nose, and the eyes. And my dog saw this in the backyard. He was a sort of a little helper with me. And so it looks like a man holding a cross. And you can see the face and you can see the hand. But I felt like it was representing the Christ within each of us. I wasn't feeling like it was Jesus Christ himself, but it was a message to all of us. And I love this one. This has got a lot of Mother Mary in it, and you can kind of see some people standing in white there. They've been, I've been able to now capture on film in the backyard a projected hologram that appears, and I can see right inside the ship. I see Ashtar and Ezekiel and Yeshua, and I have sons on the ship, and they're sitting there on the floor. There's my little dog. So, I hope people will go and watch this movie. I have 131 videos, which I have more exciting encounters as the years have gone by, but this is really profound. When you look carefully, you can see the people standing in white and they're in ceremony. And so if you go to victoriaslight.com and click on the YouTube link to my channel, and then take time to watch this and watch it in the dark and let it activate through your third eye, because what it does is it activates remembering our great divine plan. And I have this thing about singing to the birds, and they always come wherever I am. And so thanks for showing that, Rob.
thank you for letting me show it, folks. And one of the things that Louis has made clear all of these tremendous shifts. And what is taking place, folks, right now is a transformation of consciousness. And the ships have been here for millions of years, really, but um, we had a jump from Neanderthal to what we are today about 345,000 years ago. And through the ages, various extraterrestrial groups have been working with our genetic heritage of the what they call the ENK and the ENL line of human development, or what is known as the Adam Cadman. And we've gone through various stages where we have come close to graduating, but it seems that there have been some interlopers or intruders who have kept humanity from this level of making this development. And it's a long, complex thing. I don't want to go into that now. I'm going to be talking about that more. I have a lot more shows coming up before my conference. We're going to be interviewing Alex Collier, Ismail Perez, Vivian Chavez. I'm going to try and get Jason Shirka and some others on the cruise ship that I'm going on. So there's a tremendous influx of knowledge. And if you're looking at regular television, you're going to miss the boat because there's nothing but fear and lies. If you're watching the political situation, they are neutered now. There are some good ones in there, but I'll tell you, folks, the monetary system is changing. That is in charge of the galactics now. Maybe we'll talk about the financial reset. It's coming. It's not going to be called Nasara and Jasara, but the prosperity and abundance is going to take place in the not too distant future. But it'll probably be, the Venusians have said, it's going to be some time before it stabilizes. So there's going to be tremendous energy shifts. And one of the things that are happening, and of course are happening for Victoria personally, are these lights are infusing and altering her consciousness and returning her to some stuff. I mean, Victoria, I mean, I guess we don't have to spill all the beans here, but why don't you talk a little bit? She says a lot of stuff here. There's no evidence. And if you need evidence, you're going to have to listen to your heart. And as the ships start appearing more and more and more, there's a plan, a multi-pronged attack by I call them space family, our brothers and sisters from the stars who are here to usher mankind out of the deep slumber that we had been put under by a poisoned apple, kind of like Snow White, by some beings who have not had our best interests. And in order to allow humanity's free will to take place, they could not remove these beings legally according to the interdimensional laws, because it would have been a battle, and there is a battle, but it's unseen. And it would shock people because they want us to develop on our own. We must choose to fulfill the requisites to become a member of the galactic, our federation, which we will join. It's called the Galactic Confederation of Light, comprised of 61 worlds, or 601 worlds in 51 solar systems, including Sirius, Alpha Centauri, Proxima Centauri, Wolf 36, and many others. Now, I don't know them all, but I can tell you that they all have different agendas. Most of them are very positive and good. And each federation has an agenda. Each planet that's in that federation has an agenda. And each extraterrestrial that's contacting someone has an agenda. So everyone has different views and ideas, and each contactee, this is the big one, must filter their experience through their own lifetime worldview. So I've asked them, why don't you take us all up so we can all get along? Because unfortunately, some of the extraterrestrial UFO movement, real contactees, are disrespecting each other because their belief and their understanding and what they experience, and then they say something, and I'm not going to mention any names, but there's some very high level ones, one in particular that is having real experiences, I have no doubt. But that viewpoint is, she's certain elements of it are projections of her own thoughts and what she believes, even though it's seen. So we just have to support each other and know that, when you think about it, the message of Christ is pretty simple. It's love God with all your heart, see God in everyone and everything. People go, where's God? I say, where is God not? God is in everything. That essence of God is the Christ consciousness. It's universal. And what did Christ say? There's 2 commandments. Throw them all out. Love God with all your heart. Love your neighbor as God, as yourself, and do unto others. It's that simple, folks. If we could do this, this is the important thing. It's not about disclosure and the military and who's getting the white hats and this and that. It's about providing a place in your heart of service and of love towards your fellow man. And as Victoria said, do not judge. So I just wanted to lend a little bit of perspective. I know there's some people that, Victoria is talking on another level here of such confidence that many people goes, that girl's a little crazy, but you've seen the phenomenon of the family of light, of the interdimensional, as I said in my conference this year, angels and ETs in the multidimensional omniverse. And we're talking now with a very wonderful Andromedan commander who's in a lowly human body, got a beautiful voice, and she is providing a tremendous amount of knowledge. Her followers are very faithful. She's not going to get 36 million views. She's not built that way. She's not going to be I'm more like a reporter. But Victoria is a very powerful person. She also does healing and readings. So please check her out and look at her website, and you can actually contact her there too. So Victoria, if you have any, it's been 1:11. We're going to bring her back, folks. We got some more stuff, and maybe you might have some questions. I'm going to see if, Victoria and I are kind of like, I like to think of myself as a caveman toddler with 3 thumbs. And when it comes to this technology stuff, unless I have an expert next to me, I'm missing the boat. But I've got a lot of good information to share. Victoria, would you like to leave a message of love and light or anything else you'd like to share before we sign off today?
I just want to thank each and every soul for your presence on this journey. We chose to be here in this dispensation of time. We came from the future. We came to initiate this great and glorious journey. And this earth has never, ever done what it's getting ready to do. And just know that you are loved, and love yourself, and be in joy, and be in the moment, and don't overthink too much, because we are in a time of feeling, of experiencing, of you're going to notice, you're going to go out of your body and you're going to, wow, maybe I am teleporting like Victoria. So I just say to you, be in joy and know that all is well. All is well.
That's beautiful. There's a website once again, folks. Any of these things interest you in San Francisco, April 14th. I'll be there on the cruise coming up. Oh, here's one. I'm going to be in Glastonbury, England on the 10th, presenting about the Gospel of Thomas. You can look in there. I wrote an introduction. My friend Raymond Keller looked into the past on the Gospel of Thomas. And also, there's going to be another event for anyone in Europe after this conference on the 11th, 12th, and 13th. The Portal to Ascension in Glastonbury. I'll be presenting there. I have too much information, so speakers only speak in a small time. So I'm taking a whole day. There I am with Laura and some wonderful speakers from around the world. They're going to be there, so you can check this all out there. Folks, I want to thank you again for listening. I'm coming into a new level of production. I'm almost done with the website stuff. So if you've bought tickets to the conference, don't worry, your name's on the list. I'm sending out emails to you, and I'm interviewing a lot of people in the next couple months to get the information out, and so you can see the quality of the beautiful presenters, especially like Gloria. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Victory to the light, folks. And we'll see you again soon. I'm going to be traveling a bit here, but maybe I'll do a little video from the cruise. I've never been on one, folks. So I'm looking forward to having a great time down there in Mexico. Via con Dios and arrivederci, or whatever they say in Italy. Bye.
Ciao.